What is going on, New York Giants fans? Back at it today here with another video. And in this video, we're going to recap minicamp, talk about what's to come, highlight the Joe Judge press conference. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before I get started, make sure you all check out our Instagram and Twitter pages. Follow us at Big Blue Avenue and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Big Blue Avenue. Thank you all very much. Appreciate all the support and dedication. With our previous videos, we had a video out on Jim Fossil earlier this week, remembering him and his time as the Giants head coach, and then have some more off-season content coming up. As always, trying to do around 2 to 3 videos a week coming up for you guys, putting out the most up-to-date stuff. This is kind of a downtime in the off-season where there's not that much happening. Now we're currently in the third phase of the off-season. That's what this time of the year is called. And the Giants did have mandatory minicamp from Tuesday to Thursday, June 8th to June 10th. And the way it looks right now, so that minicamp wrapped up yesterday. There's 2 days of OTAs left. That'll happen next week. That'll be next Monday and Tuesday. But before we talk about that, it was announced, I believe, yesterday. Our preseason schedule was officially announced a day or two ago, and the Giants will have 3 preseason games, all against AFC opponents. Saturday, August 14th, will be the MetLife Bowl, where the Giants take on the Jets at 7:30 p.m. That'll be fun. And then Sunday, August 22nd, the Giants will play the Cleveland Browns, having a 1 p.m. start. So that'll be a nice little tune-up in preparation for the regular season. And then Sunday, August 29th, against the New England Patriots. That will be a 6 p.m. start. And the Giants' AFC opponents this year, they play the AFC West and the Miami Dolphins as that 17th game. So they will not see any of these 3 AFC opponents in the regular season. It was announced by the media that there will be joint practices with the Cleveland Browns and the New England Patriots. Joe Judge is a big fan of these. He has an excellent relationship with Bill Belichick and apparently really good one with Kevin Stefanski as well. They were high school teammates for a little bit. Giants will work with the Browns at their camp in Berea, Ohio, prior to their second preseason game. And then the following week, the Giants, so they're most likely going to practice at the Patriots practice facility behind Gillette Stadium. So Judge, obviously very familiar with that environment and field. And yesterday was Joe Judge's final interaction with beat reporters until training camp opens July 27th. So with that being said, we'll talk about some of the notes that I took from it personally and what he said about minicamp and about some of the players. First off, over the past couple of years in the draft, in the first round, the Giants have taken offensive players. This year, they took Kadarius Toney after trading down. The year before that, they took Andrew Thomas, and then in 2019 they took Daniel Jones. And it was very interesting, since Joe Judge has taken over as head coach, he's called each of the players at that position who had a guy drafted beneath them. What I mean by that is, when the Giants drafted Andrew Thomas last year, he called Nate Solder, and then this year he called Sterling Shepard when they drafted Kadarius Toney. Both players took it very well. This is more of a competition pick for both of those guys at the time. Obviously, Nate Solder opted out. Sterling Shepard is probably going to start with Toney and Golladay, I'd imagine, barring any injuries. But, Nate Solder opted out last year. Really good teammate. He quoted, "Who cares who starts? I just want to be part of an excellent group that's getting better every day, that plays at a really high level. I've been fortunate enough to play with some great O-lines, and nobody really cares who's starting and who's not starting, because we're all part of the team, and we're all necessary, and we're all needed. So if I can encourage, protect, guide, lead, and compete, I'm here to do it." And that's what you love to hear from a veteran offensive tackle, former captain of the Giants. You really love to see that. And what's so ironic about this Giants offensive line is you think of it as a very young offensive line, which it is, don't get me wrong. 3 rookies last year right now on that first unit heading into 2021. The 5 penciled-in starters that I'd put right now for the Giants are Andrew Thomas, Shane Lemieux, Nick Gates, Will Hernandez, and Matt Peart, right? And Those 5 starters combined have 83 career NFL starts. The Giants' backups have 297 career combined starts. Obviously, Nate Solder, been starting in the league for 9-10 years. Zach Fulton, longtime starter with the Chiefs and the Texans, who we signed on a 1-year. Jonathan Harrison, we signed on a 1-year. He former starter for the Jets. So there is some starting experience on this offensive line for the Giants. Kenny Wiggins as well, under the radar guy, spent some time with the Detroit Lions and I believe the Chargers as well. So right then and there goes to show you that the Giants have a veteran second unit on that offensive line. You almost never see a stat like that. So I wanted to pinpoint that. And the other thing about Sterling Shepard and Kadarius Toney, I'm really happy with the way Sterling Shepard took this. He is the longest tenured New York Giant. He does have an out on his contract after this year where the Giants could free up $6 million if they were to release him. But I think the depth at wide receiver is so important because in this day and age, the NFL is a passing league. You need depth at that position. And when you have a top 4 that consists of Golladay, Shepard, Toney, and Slayton, it's a really good top 4. And there's no way, not to be a pessimist or anything, but to say that all 4 of those guys are going to be available for all 16 games is a bit of a stretch. So that's why you like this depth. And as of now, Joe Judge said Toney's been catching everything that's been thrown his way, which is what you love to hear. Giants seem to be working on his position flexibility. I know he's been back there at punt returner along with Shep and Slayton as well. So I really like that. And Sterling Shepard is a veteran. He's going to teach Toney some of the techniques and some of the things he learned when he was a rookie, back when he was behind Odell Beckham. So I think that'll be very good for Toney's confidence heading into his rookie season. Couple injury updates. Kyle Rudolph, who he signed, whole foot thing, he's been rehabbing. Have not seen Ryan Anderson or Cam Brown yet. They're both outside linebackers who are probably going to be fighting for special teams reps. Cam Brown, one of the most heavily used special teams guys last year as a rookie. Ryan Anderson, who he signed from Washington, has yet to be seen. So that is a little concerning. Kyle Rudolph, I'm fully expecting him to be ready for week 1. The Giants do have a deep tight end room now with Levine Toilolo and Caden Smith behind him and Evan Ingram. And then the other injury we're going to talk about is Saquon Barkley. He's doing well, rehabbing from his torn ACL that he suffered in week 2 last season. Barkley said he's focused on coming back the right way. Barkley will not be rushed. And in my personal opinion, this is not coming from any report. This is coming from me. I do not expect to see Barkley playing at training camp. I don't expect him to be in those 11-on-11s. I don't expect to see him ready by training camp time. I'm not so worried about having him back for week 1 of the season either, as crazy as that might sound to you all. I want him back for week 1. I want him back for preseason and training camp, but the reality of the situation is that training camp will be a stretch. I think preseason could be a stretch as well. I think ideally week 1 is when you would like to have him back. But worst case scenario, if it's week 2 or week 3, that's okay as well. Barkley said he's focused on coming back the right way, so that's exactly what you want to see. Having Barkley in week 15, week 18 is much more important than having him in week 1 or week 2. So another update, and not too thrilled about this. Sam Beal pleads guilty to firearm charges that stemmed from a 2020 arrest, which happened just 8 days after he opted out of the 2020 season. This happened I believe in Ohio, was arrested in Ohio last June, placed on 2 years probation. Giants have been aware of this situation. The news just coming out now, which is a little crazy. Beal missed the entire 2018 season as a rookie when he was drafted in the 3rd round of the supplemental draft. Giants lost a draft pick the following year because of taking Sam Beal, and this turned out to be a bust. I'm pretty sure he went to Western Michigan. It's either Western or Central. I'm pretty sure it's Western, but has not been the guy we've wanted him to be due to injuries and his poor availability. Not only did Beal miss the entire 2018 season, he missed the first half of 2019 as well. So realistically, you have half a season to judge this guy off of tape-wise. Beal did not attend voluntary OTAs. He was present at mandatory minicamp this past week. But now the Giants, they drafted Aaron Robinson. They drafted Darnay Holmes last year. They signed Adoree Jackson this offseason. They traded for Isaac Yiadom last season. All of these four moves tell me personally that Beal is the odd one out because, quite frankly, you could go ahead and say, well, Sam Beal is the longest tenured cornerback on this roster, which he is. But the guys that we've acquired at the cornerback position since taking Sam Beal in that supplemental draft, that includes Bradbury. Beal was before Bradbury as well. There's no way I see Beal making this roster, especially now. His chances of making this roster were already slim. Now I say slim to none. Like, I give the guy less than a 5% chance to make this roster, especially Giants do not tolerate these types of actions. So I would not be surprised if he's cut prior to cut down. Giants also, their secondary is ranked among the NFL's best. I believe PFF had us at 7. Beal may not have a spot on it. I'm not losing sleep over that. Next topic I want to talk about is Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett, his interviews are always kind of short. I always feel like he's not the type of guy that likes to talk to the media. I think he answers questions pretty okay. Just watching some of his pressers in the past with Dallas. But, yeah, he doesn't seem like that guy that's going to, reveal a lot of information to you. He's more close to the vest. Joe Judge is kind of that way too, but as the head coach, Joe Judge does reveal a little more. He does budge just a little bit. That's his job. Jason Garrett stated that turnovers were the biggest issue of the team last season. Clear as day to any Giants fan, really, that was a big problem. Winning the turnover ratio and taking care of the football was the reason why the Giants had the chance to win games down the stretch. I believe the Giants won 4 out of their last 6, I want to say. Yeah, we started 1-7, brutal start to the season. Then we won 4 straight, that 4-game winning streak. And then we lost the next, I think we lost the next 3 games and then won the season finale because we lost to Cleveland. I forget. We lost the Baltimore game, and we lost the Arizona game, which Daniel Jones clearly was not ready to play that game. But Jason Garrett seems like he's taking a different approach to the offense this year, going to throw more deep balls down the field, take some more chances with Daniel Jones. Jones's deep accuracy numbers were really great, and him and Kenny Golladay have done a good job connecting in minicamp in these OTAs, working out through the offseason. I know they worked out in North Carolina, so that was really fun to know and speculate on. So I think it'll be very interesting to see how Kenny Golladay fits in a big blue uniform under this Jason Garrett offense. So I'm really excited to see that. A couple fun facts I want to throw in towards the end of this episode, folks. The Giants team has been closer than years past. A lot of these guys are young guys. They're all growing up together. They're around the same age, which is the nice part about a rebuild. Eventually, when you're coming towards the end of that rebuild, these guys who have been on the team together for a couple of years now are gelling. Even the veterans, they're taking in these young players who are not that far apart from them in age under their wing to get to know them a little bit off the football field. And we saw Tay Crowder, Lorenzo Carter, and Ellerson Smith went to a Brooklyn Nets game the other night when they played the Bucks. Danny Shelton went horseback riding, which I found very, very interesting. Danny Shelton is a large, mammoth-sized human being. Cullen Gillespie went to the Belmont Stakes, which is pretty cool. He seems like a Belmont type of guy. Cale Garrett, I did a segment on him a few weeks back, was at a Yankees-Red Sox game. He also went to Six Flags with Devontae Downs, Ryson John, and Sandro Platzgummer. So 4 guys who probably don't make this roster. Four guys that I'm not very high on. Although Garrett, I was a little bit high on him until I realized they're moving Carter Coughlin into the inside linebacker spot. Apparently they tried moving Coughlin in towards the late portion of last season in his rookie year, but with all the injuries, Coughlin was forced to remain at that edge position. Coughlin's pressures and QB hits actually come from that inside linebacker spy type of position. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for him, for these young players on this Giants roster heading into the 2021 training camp and preseason. But folks, thank you all very much for watching this video. If you like what you watch, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, make sure to give us a thumbs up, and I will catch you all on the next video. Have an awesome weekend, everybody. I'll talk to you all soon.